Hey everybody, it's Tony with Blacktop Magazine. We're here at the SEMA show. Boy, do we got some fun stuff for you, so sit back and enjoy the show.
Please join me in welcoming our very special guests, Ken Gross and Jay Leno.
Hello. Welcome to SEMA Nights. Good to see everybody. Bright and early. Ken, what's up?
Well, Jay, you've been coming to SEMA for years. Do you have any memories of your first SEMA show?
Well, I mean, it's the first time I came, how long ago? There was one booth, it was J.C. Whitney, and he was selling X-ray specs, so you could see the bones in your hand and see women naked. I didn't quite know how that worked, because in the ad, you'd see the bones in his hand, then he'd look at a woman, and of course, she'd have no clothes on. And I always wondered how those specs, I never got them to work properly. But it's amazing how big it's gone and how legitimate it's become. You know, that's the really exciting part to me, is the cars are now not only faster, they handle better, they stop better, they get better gas mileage. You know, as you probably know, there's been a couple of pretty high-level accidents in the last couple of months involving high-performance cars. And a lot of times you see the press, they love to get on that, we hate cars, aren't they dangerous? But then they look at them and they realize, whoa, that chassis is better than the original chassis. That motor gets better mileage than the original motor. Those brakes stop a lot better than the original brake. And it tends to calm it down. So I'm real proud of the industry for not just making it all performance, but making it performance with safety and handling as well. So it's very exciting.
What do you think's driving all this energy to make the SEMA show bigger and more exciting every year?
Well, I think it's American ingenuity. You know, I see a whole resurgence in American manufacturing, whether it's Corvette or Chevrolet. I mean, the fact that Chevrolet can make this Corvette for $60,000. I like everybody else, I was at the unveiling, I thought, okay, the C7 will continue for $70,000 to $80,000, and then they'll come out with this new one for $200,000. For example, the NSX is $205,000, one of those. You know, and when they announced the price at $60,000, I mean, it's a real triumph of American manufacturing and ingenuity. And it's not as if they, you know, put a torque converted transmission because it's lighter, you know, none of that nonsense. They have a bespoke transmission for it, a dual clutch. I mean, that chassis is as sophisticated as anything from Lamborghini or Ferrari. You know, I love the fact that all the American companies are run by engineers. Mark Royce, he's not at a marketing meeting, he's at Nürburgring all the time, you know, just testing the cars, seeing how they handle. So I think I think it trickles down. It starts in Detroit and it goes all throughout the country.
Well, it really does. I just drove the new Mustang last week here at Las Vegas Speedway, and I'm no drag racer, but 11.2, 129 in a car that will top out near 200 miles an hour, and you can buy it for $80,000. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to see American manufacturing competing with the Europeans at, what, a third of the price, or 25% of the price almost? I mean, it's great, and like I say, and it trickles down to all these manufacturers here, you know, little cottage industries guys, and, you know, I live in Burbank, which has a ton of guys left over from Lockheed and all the aircraft, and they're always building and doing stuff, and it culminates here, so it's really cool.
So you've been a car guy since you were a kid. What aspect drives you? Is it the speed, the freedom, the aesthetics, the culture? What is it about?
Well, I think you know, today kids have iPhones. We didn't have iPhones. We couldn't go place virtually. We had to go place in reality. You know, like when we were kids, you had to. Like now, kids sit at home and they go, "Hey, send me a naked picture of yourself." Okay, click. In our day, you had to get in your car, go to the girl's house, make sure her parents weren't home, somehow convince her to take her clothes off, take the picture, then you had to find a drugstore 2 towns away from your town that didn't know your parents that would develop the picture, and then when you got the picture back, there'd be black bars over all the good parts, and so it was horrible, So that's why we needed the car, we had to get to the girl's house.
So the vast majority of your car collection, they're collector cars. Some of them are over 100 years old.
Right.
But what do you see as the future?
Some of the people interviewing me are over 100 years old. Yeah. What do I see as the future?
What's
I think the future is really exciting. 3D printing has been the greatest breakthrough. I have like a lot of old steam cars, and you're not going to go to a junkyard and find a feed water heater for a 1901 white steam car. But with 3D printing, you can scan one, or you can scan a picture of one and manufacture it. We have used the Stratus system as 3D printing for 10 years now, and we made headlight stays for the Duesenberg. You can copy any piece, so I think it's really cool. It's really neat what's happening,
Well, I don't think you see yourself as a hot rodder, but I've been with you with your Doble steam car that's got disc brakes that have been retrofitted. I mean,
Right.
you do modify some of your cars to make them safer, make them stop.
Well, yeah, you have to modify it, not to stop better, just to stop it all, I mean, you can only use accident avoidance technology. So I'm like, hey, you can't do that. We just finished I have a 1910 Mercedes chassis with a 1914 Benz Aero engine in it. This car ran to Brooklyn, and it lapped at 113 miles an hour. It's double chain drive to the rear wheels. We even used the original 1910 Mercedes transmission, which is pretty amazing. But it didn't stop. So I found an axle from a 29 Lincoln, and we put that on the front, and we put disc brakes hidden in fake drums. I've got the real axle. I can go back at any time. But now I can actually drive the car on the street, and that's the fun part.
Sounds like a hot rodder to me.
Yeah, a bit of a hot rod.
Tell us about this Bronco that people are going to see later.
Well, I can't tell you about it. We're unveiling it at 10:30. It's sort of a secret. We're not even sure it's a Bronco. Okay, that's good keeping that secret. But no, you're not going to. No, this is really good. Come to the Ford booth at 10:30. This is really something pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So you've had tremendous success in your career with the Tonight Show, and now you've got Jay Leno's Garage. You've got a new line of products. Tell us a little about that.
Well, these are the correct way to do the product thing is you go to a company and they give you a huge check and you hold up the product and you go spend the money. Or you spend 10 years developing the stuff in your own garage. Cost-wise, it's not the most efficient, but it's more satisfying because these are the products we developed in our garage and we actually use it on my own car. So when people come up to me, when I did the Tonight Show, you get offered huge money to hold up the Budweiser can or whatever it is. But I don't drink, so to me, I didn't want to sell something I didn't believe in. So with these are products we developed them ourselves. Went to chemists, found the best products, that we could develop, and we put it out there, and people seem to like it. It's been out for a couple of years now, and it's doing quite well. It's doing well. The repeat business we get is good, so I'm proud of that.
So last question.
All right.
This room is filled with companies who are pushing boundaries and putting a lot on the line to bring new products to market. Mm-hmm. What words of wisdom can you share as we send them off to begin the 2019?
Oh, I don't know what words of wisdom. I mean, to me, I'm just proud to see American manufacturing at the forefront. I would say probably 90% of the suppliers here today, it's American-made stuff, built here in America. I just like that. I like that feeling, I like seeing that little flag on there. And I think, I'm not really a computer guy or a stock and bond guy. Whether you like Henry Ford or not, he built a product, and that product then needed somebody to make tires, and then they needed somebody to develop oil, and then they needed somebody to make all the other assorted parts and the stampings for steel. And one leads to another, and that's how you build a country. That's how you build an industry. The idea of just pressing keyboards and shifting paper around different countries, it seems like a false narrative. It doesn't seem like it gets you anywhere, The nice thing, everybody here, every industry here supports the industry at the next table. The tire guy supports the wheel guy, supports the lug nut guy, supports, and it's great to see it's all interconnected and that everybody gets, and of course with social media and all this stuff now you can find out right away what products are good and what's bad. The auto industry is kind of like the restaurant industry in the sense that if there's not an A in the window, nobody goes there anymore. They don't, car magazines were more fun when we were kids because there were cars that were just terrible, just awful cars. And the magazines had a field day talking about what a piece of crap this thing was. Now, everything is very good, exhaust systems don't rot out anymore. You know, my dad used to go to Midas Muffler every 2 years with, he had a guarantee that looked like the Magna Carta. It was so old. And he got that lifetime guarantee, you know. He'd go in there with a, you know, with a 12-year-old car and get the new muffler, you know. But those things don't happen anymore because the products are so good, the quality is so high. And that's what's really exciting to see. It's just, I think it's a resurgence of American manufacturing. I think we're living in a golden age of horsepower now. I mean, whatever you thought the 60s were, ooh, 425 horsepower, ooh. Well, I mean, you've got cars now. The new Mustang, 760 horsepower. I mean, you've got the Challengers, 800 horsepower. I mean, it's pretty amazing, and with double the mileage, so it's an exciting time.
So we're the only thing that's keeping these folk from starting the SEMA show.
Okay.
We should let them go.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, thanks, everybody. See you out there. Buy American.
So what do you think about that? Isn't that cool? So you can get more of this fun stuff from Blacktop TV. Just hit the subscribe button and don't forget to touch that bell so you get notified on every upload. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina Michelle. Thank you for watching Blacktop TV. Ciao.